بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. خبر والا کے ساتھ میں ہوں حسیب برسلان. آج آپ کی خدمت میں ایک اور پروگرام لے کر حاضر ہوا ہوں. جو پچھلے 2 پروگرام ہم نے کیے اس میں بہت پازیٹیو چیزیں جو ہیں وہ دیکھنے میں آئیں. آپ سب لوگوں کی طرف سے بڑا اچھا فیڈ بیک جو ہے وہ بھی دیکھنے میں آیا, اور اس کو مد نظر رکھتے ہوئے ہم نے سوچا کہ نیگیٹیوٹی جو ہے وہ تو بہت پھیل چکی ہے اور پھیل رہی ہے. جدھر سے آپ خبر اٹھائیں تو یہ پتہ چلتا ہے اتنے لوگ مر گئے, اتنا نقصان ہو گیا, یہ ایسے ہو گیا, یہ ایسے ہو گیا. تو اس سارے معاملے میں کچھ پازیٹیو بھی ہے. اس کے اوپر گور بھائی اور میں جو ہے ہم پچھلے کافی دنوں سے کام کر رہے تھے, اور آج ہم ایک یونیک سا پروگرام آپ کے سامنے لے کر آئے ہیں. ہم ایک بہت اسپیشل گیسٹ بھی جوائن کریں گے. از فرام UK بٹ رائٹ ناؤ از ان پاکستان. وہ کیا کر رہے ہیں وہاں پہ اس پہ بات ہوگی. لیکن جو باٹم لائن آج سارے پروگرام کی ہے وہ یہ ہوگی کہ ہم اس مصیبت سے کہ اوبیسلی انشاءاللہ اللہ کرے گا کہ یہ مصیبت ٹل جائے گی, لیکن اس سے پیدا ہونے والے حالات سے ہم فائدہ کس طرح اٹھا سکتے ہیں, کیا پازیٹیو اپرچونٹیز پیدا ہوں گی, سب کے بعد اس پر بات کریں گے. السلام علیکم گور بھائی.
وعلیکم السلام.
امجد صاحب, تھینک یو سو مچ فار یور ٹائم. میں آپ کا انٹروڈکشن جو ہے وہ دینے کی کوشش بھی نہیں کروں گا کیونکہ گور بھائی جو ہیں وہ مجھ سے بہت بہتر جانتے ہیں اور بہت زیادہ جانتے ہیں. اس لیے گور بھائی اگر آپ ہمارے ویورز کو کوئکلی انٹروڈکشن کروا سکیں امجد صاحب کا, اور اس کے بعد ہم باقاعدہ آغاز کرتے ہیں.
جی, امجد صاحب وہ کہتے ہیں کہ میں ان کا نام نہ لوں پھر بھی لوگ پہچانیں کہ آپ اپنا تعارف ہوا بہار کی ہے. میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ جتنے لوگ ان کو شاید UK میں یا بریڈ فورڈ میں یا یارکشائر میں جانتے ہیں, اس سے کئی زیادہ آپ لوگ ان کو پاکستان میں بھی جانتے ہیں, کیونکہ پچھلے کچھ سالوں سے یہ کافی کام کر رہے ہیں پاکستان میں. سالڈ ورک جسے بولتے ہیں, وہ انگریزی میں ایک مثال ہوتی ہے کہ وہ کہتے ہیں کہ people can talk the talk, لیکن یہ talk the talk کے پیچھے ہی is actually walk the walk as well. کافی بیک گراؤنڈ میں true patriot پاکستان کے حوالے سے انہوں نے کام کیا. یہ یہاں انہوں نے اپنی شخصیت کو منوایا, اور میں ان کا بڑا شکر گزار ہوں کہ آج یہ اسپیشل ریکویسٹ میری آئے ہیں. انہوں نے نہ صرف اپنے آپ کو یہاں بزنس کمیونٹی میں محنت کر کے, جسے کہتے ہیں محنت میں عظمت ہے, بڑی ہمبل بگننگز کے ساتھ انہوں نے اپنا محنت کے ساتھ سٹارٹ لیا اور اپنے آپ کو پروو کیا, اور الحمدللہ he is the founder of now Adam Foods and Sea Fresh and so on. So اس کے فاؤنڈر ہیں, اور اس کے علاوہ بھی انہوں نے کافی پروجیکٹس کیے ہیں. پاکستان میں بھی انہوں نے بہت کچھ کیا ہے. لیکن آج کا جو پروگرام ہے میں سمجھتا ہوں اس کو سمجھنا اس لیے ہمیں ضروری ہے کہ ہم نے جو پچھلا پروگرام کیا تھا, ویسے اس طرح کی کافی پروگرامز اور لوگ کافی کرونا وائرس کے حوالے سے, COVID-19 کے حوالے سے گفتگو کر رہے ہیں, اس کے کیا امپیکٹس ہوں گے, معیشت کے اوپر کیا امپیکٹ ہوں گے. پہلے ہیلتھ کے حوالے سے سمجھنے کی کوشش کی, کنسپیریسی تھیوری, دنیا میں کیا ہو رہا ہے, ورلڈ پاور سے کیا فائدہ اٹھائیں گے, نقصانات اٹھائیں گے. لیکن میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ کوئی بھی گفتگو جب تک میننگ فل نہ ہو, آپ کے لیے اس کے لیے آپ کا کوئی فائدہ نہ ہو آپ کے دیکھنے والوں کو یا سننے والوں کو, تو اس کا کوئی فائدہ نہیں ہے. سو آج کی جو ہم نے پروگرام کیا ہے, اس میں جو ہم گفتگو کریں گے وہ یہ گفتگو کریں گے کہ COVID-19 سے پہلے کی جو دنیا تھی وہ اسی طریقے کی میں سمجھتا ہوں دنیا تھی جیسے ورلڈ وار 2 سے پہلے کی دنیا تھی. ورلڈ وار سے پہلے کئی ایسے بگر پلیئر تھے دنیا میں جو بڑی بڑی معیشتیں, بڑی بڑی پاورز جو ہیں وہ ٹوسٹ ہو گئی, ان کی جو الائنسز تھے وہ بدل گئے. میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ اس COVID-19 کے بعد کی دنیا ہے اس میں بھی جیو پولیٹیکل حالات, سوشیو اکنامیکل حالات وہ نہیں ہوں گے جو ہم آج دیکھتے ہیں. سو یہاں تباہی ہوئی ہے. اب میں آپ کو چند ممالک کے نام لیتا ہوں جو پچھلے ادوار میں دنیا کے امیر ترین اور دنیا کے پاور ترین ملک رہے ہیں, اور آج کل وہ کمزور ملک بن چکے ہیں. فار ایگزامپل تھائی لینڈ ایک بہت بڑی ڈائنسٹی رہا ہے. بہت کم لوگوں کو شاید معلوم ہوگا کہ دنیا کی طاقتور ترین اکانومیز میں سے ایک تھائی لینڈ رہا ہے. مالی ایک ملک ہے افریقہ کا جہاں سے دنیا کا اب تک آج تک جو امیر ترین آدمی گزرا ہے منسا موسا تھا, جس کی $500 ٹریلین سے زیادہ بتائی جاتا ہے, اس کے پاس سونا تھا, جو بانٹا کرتا تھا سونا دنیا میں جو گھومتا تھا. سو مالی بہت امیر ملک تھا. آپ دیکھ لیں کہ مالی آج کہاں ہے. اچھا, اس کے علاوہ آپ جو ریسنٹلی آپ دیکھیں کہ انڈیا کو دیکھیں, گولڈن اسپیرو کہا جاتا تھا انڈیا کو جب ہمارے مغلوں کا دور تھا. اس کے بعد آپ دیکھیے جی مسلمانوں کا دور تھا, اور اس سے پہلے ہندوؤں کا جو دور تھا اس کو گولڈن اسپیرو کے نام سے یاد کیا جاتا. دنیا کے ہر انویڈر وہاں گئے ہیں. یہ جو ہمارا خطہ ہے ہندو پاک جو اب ہے برے صغیر, اچھا اس طریقے سے لیٹویا, عراق, زمبابوے, وینزویلا اینڈ the list goes on and on. پھر جب یہ ورلڈ وار 2 فار ایگزامپل جب ہوئی ریسنٹ ہسٹری میں, ورلڈ وار 2 سے پہلے کئی ایسے بڑے پلیئرز تھے جن کی الائنسز چینج ہوئی, جس کے بعد آپ کا جو ہے وہ لیفٹ اور رائٹ میں ایک ڈیوائڈ پیدا ہوا, ایسٹ اور ویسٹ میں ایک ڈیوائڈ پیدا ہوا, امریکہ نے اپنا بلاک بنایا, سوویت یونین نے اپنا بلاک بنایا, اینڈ سو آن اینڈ سو فورتھ. اب کووڈ-19 کے بعد میں اس کو کنڈینس کر کے واپس یہ لے کے آیا ہوں کہ اس کووڈ-19 کے بعد جہاں دنیا میں تباہی پھیلی ہے, جس طرح فار ایگزامپل آپ کو میں مثالیں دیتا ہوں, جاپان ایک ایسا ملک ہے جو مکمل طور پہ تباہ ہو گیا تھا جنگ عظیم میں, اس کے اوپر دنیا کا واحد ملک ہے جس کے اوپر ایٹم بم گرایا گیا. لیکن آپ دیکھیں کہ جہاں ڈسٹرکشن ہوتی ہے, ڈسٹرکشن کے بعد کیسے انہوں نے اپنے ملک کو ریزریکٹ کیا ہے, کیسے اپنے ملک کو دوبارہ اٹھایا ہے, اکانومی کو کیسے اٹھایا ہے. سملرلی آپ جرمنی کو دیکھتے ہیں, آج یورپ میں سب سے اسٹیبل ملک اگر کوئی ہے تو شاید جرمنی سے زیادہ اسٹیبل کوئی ملک ہوگا. جرمنی کو بھی اسی طرح سے تباہ کیا گیا. اینڈ لسٹ گوز. انگلینڈ کو آپ دیکھ لیں, برطانیہ میں جب یہ ہوا تو برطانیہ میں بھی کچھ زیادہ نہیں بچا تھا چرچل کے دور میں. سو کہنے کا مقصد ہے ایسی کئی واقعات اور حالات دنیا میں ہوئے جس نے دنیا کا نقشہ بدلا ہے, اور کووڈ-19 کے بعد کی جو دنیا ہے اس میں بھی میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ یہ نقشہ بدلنے کے لیے جا رہا ہے. اب میں اس کو لے کے آتا ہوں کہ ریلیونس کیسی آپ کے ویورز کے لیے, آپ کے لوگوں کے لیے کیسی یہ ریلیونٹ ہوگا یہ پروگرام. ہمارے پاس ایسے لوگ بیٹھے ہوئے امجد پرویز صاحب کی شکل میں, یہ اس طرح کے لوگ ہیں جنہوں نے جسے کہتے ہیں کہ زیرو سے انہوں نے سب کچھ بنایا الحمدللہ, اور ناؤ ہی از ون آف the biggest entrepreneurs الحمدللہ یو کے میں, اور یہ اپنی محنت کے بلبوتے پہ انہوں نے وہ کیا. اچھا دوسری جو ان کی ایک خصوصیت ہے, اور مجھے یہ خوشامد نہیں اچھی لگتی, لیکن جو تعریف ہے وہ ڈیو ہونی چاہیے, کسی کرنی چاہیے. یہ واحد آدمی میں نے دیکھے ہیں کہ میں نے نام نہیں لیتا, لیکن میں نے ان کو گورنرز کے سامنے بھی بیٹھے ہوئے اور بولتے ہوئے دیکھا ہے, میں نے ان کو پرائم منسٹرز اور پریزیڈنٹس کے سامنے بھی بیٹھے ہوئے دیکھا ہے, میں نے ان کو امبیسڈرز کے سامنے بھی بیٹھے ہوئے دیکھا ہے. اور جس طرح سے یہ ٹو دا پوائنٹ کریٹیسائز کرتے ہیں کہ یہ آپ کی معاشی پالیسی غلط ہے, یہاں پہ آپ غلط جا رہے ہیں, وہاں پہ آپ غلط جا رہے ہیں. میں نے ان کو یونیورسٹیز میں لیکچر دیتے ہوئے سنا ہے, کالجز میں لیکچر دیتے ہوئے سنا ہے. آج ان جیسے لوگوں سے ہمیں یہ فائدہ حاصل کرنا چاہیے کہ آپ اپنی یہ جو آپ کی جو آپ کی ویژن ہے وہ ہمارے ساتھ شیئر کیجئے, ہماری یوتھ کے ساتھ شیئر کیجئے کہ اس تباہی کے بعد جہاں تباہی ہوتی ہے اس کے بعد آپ کو سپیس ملتا ہے, آپ کو اپرچونٹیز ملتی ہیں اس ویکیوم پیدا ہونے کے بعد. تو میں آج یہ درخواست کروں گا امجد پرویز بھائی سے کہ ہمارے ساتھ یہ شیئر کریں کہ جہاں اتنی تباہی ہوئی ہے, جو کچھ ہوا ہے, تھوڑا سا اس کو بھی ٹچ کریں. اس کے بعد آنے والی دنیا میں یہ کیا دیکھتے ہیں اپنے تجربے کی بنیاد پہ, کیونکہ میں سمجھتا ہوں جب تک آپ تب تک فیوچر کو پریڈکٹ نہیں کر سکتے جب تک آپ ماضی کو نہ دیکھیں. اگر آپ ہسٹری کو نہیں سمجھتے تو آپ فیوچر کو نہیں آگے پریڈکٹ کر سکتے. یہ ہسٹری میں بھی اور پریزنٹ میں بھی بزنس کے حوالے سے اور ان چیزوں کے حوالے سے یہ جانتے ہیں کہ کس طریقے سے چیزیں چل رہی ہیں پاکستان میں بھی اور برطانیہ میں بھی, ایسٹ میں بھی اور ویسٹ میں بھی. تو ان کا تجربہ جو ویلتھ ہے, میں چاہوں گا کہ ویری کائنڈلی یہ شیئر کریں جو ہمارے ویورز آپ کے دیکھ رہے ہیں کہ کس طریقے سے اپرچونٹیز پیدا ہوں گی, کیا آگے اس کے نتائج نکلیں گے, اور کس طریقے سے ہم اس کو میکسیمم جو ہے وہ مطلب اس کو کیش کر سکتے ہیں. سو I'll come back to you, کیونکہ میں نے سوچا کہ تھوڑا سا انٹروڈکشن یہ باندھ دیا جائے تاکہ یہ گفتگو آگے اچھے طریقے سے چلے. تو پہلے تو امجد بھائی آپ ہمیں سٹارٹ میں اپنا تھوڑا سا بتائیے کہ آپ کب برطانیہ آئے and so on, اور پھر اس کے بعد you're an experienced man anyway, you've delivered, I've listened to your many lectures, so please over to you.
جی بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم and السلام علیکم to all the listeners and the viewers. مجھے بڑی حیرت ہوتی ہے کہ آپ نے اتنی لمبی میری انٹروڈکشن کی. I am actually truly grateful. Like you said, there are a lot of people who can talk the talk, but it's actually quite difficult to walk the talk. So I'll be very brief in terms of what my history is. So my my great grandfather and his clan came from Balamura in occupied Kashmir. They migrated because of the persecution when Kashmir was ceded to India and came to Punjab. My father served in the British Army. He saw action in Burma. He's a decorated soldier. And then he joined Pakistan Army. And जैसे आपको पता है कि आफ्टर द सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर जो आप बात कर रहे थे, जो यूरोप की इकोनॉमीज थी वो डेसिमेटेड थी, particularly यूके की. अच्छा, एक बात हमें जो भी डिस्कशन जब हो तो हमारा फर्ज बनता है कि जो ट्रूथ है उसको सामने लाया जाए.
Indeed.
अच्छा, जो मेरे वालिद की जनरेशन है, जो कि पहली जनरेशन है, जो कि अच्छा जो भी गुफ्तगू हो, मैं समझता हूँ को उस जनरेशन को हमारा फर्ज बनता है कि हम उनको रिमेम्बर करें कि जो सैक्रिफाइसेस उन्होंने दिए, हम में से कोई जमा नहीं अब जो वो उनकी सैक्रिफाइसेस दे सके. उनके पास ना एजुकेशन थी, ना हुनर था, मगर उनमें एक गैरत थी और उनमें एक डिटर्मिनेशन थी कि वो पॉवर्टी से निकलें. सिर्फ खुद ही नहीं निकले, वो अपने मोहल्ले के, अपने गांव के, अपने एरिया के जो उनके यार दोस्त थे, उनके साथ भी उन्होंने कोऑपरेशन की. मुझे याद है कि मैं 1969 में जब ब्रैडफोर्ड में आया तो एक घर में तकरीबन 15-20 जवान मर्द रहते थे. अच्छा, मुझे एक बात मुझे बहुत ही अभी तक जो है ना मेरे जहन में है कि एक नौजवान लड़का पंजाब से आया और हमारे घर जहां हम रहते थे वहां पे आया. उसे जॉब नहीं मिली अलमास भाई. तो उस वक्त वो जो 15-20 मर्द दूसरे थे, उन्होंने ये किया कि एक शिलिंग, उस वक्त शिलिंग करेंसी हुआ करती थी, तो उन्होंने सभी ने एक एक शिलिंग उसे दिया ताकि जो पीछे घर वाले थे उनको ये महसूस ना हो कि वो अनएम्प्लॉयड है.
Wow.
So if you look at the level of cooperation and now the level of segregation, जो disunity हम में आई है, and no wonder where we are in terms of our political affiliation and power and economics where we are. So 1969, I came to Bradford. We originally, or most of my family actually is in London. But I think my father felt कि ब्रैडफोर्ड में पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी है तो बच्चे यहाँ पे आएंगे, they will feel at home. So I actually graduated in 1983. So rather than actually going for medicine or engineering, accountants, I was the oddball. I did marketing and market research. I went into financial services, but as a young man, I wanted to change the world. I wanted to be independent. So I set up a small shop on Little Orton Lane. So you talked about the very humble beginnings. It was a corner shop, 1983, on Little Orton Lane, just past St. Luke's Hospital on the right-hand side. There's a shop called Fresh Fare. It was a family endeavor. And alhamdulillah, we then took a next shop. It was a hardware shop, then a video shop, then things got along. But I very quickly realized that the retail market would be soon dominated by the supermarkets. So we wanted to pivot, move into something where there wasn't competition and there was a resurgence in terms of the next 10 to 15 years. And that happened to be food services, which is we serve the takeaways and restaurants. We serve the institutions, the catering institutions. And alhamdulillah, at the moment, we're probably one of the largest food service companies in UK with global chain supplies across the globe. But I think, देखिए ये जो इंसान अपनी रोजी के लिए करता है ना, वो किसी के ऊपर आसान नहीं है. ये आपकी ड्यूटी है मेरे भाई. मैंने कल परसों एक हदीस पढ़ी कि हजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम said that the portion of your providence is divided in 10 portions. And 9 of those portions comes from trade and commerce.
Wow.
So look at the power. So if you go back, you were talking about history and we need to know our history. the Muslims became great, not because with the sword, but with their principles, their ethics, and their traders. They were, I mean, India was conquered because of our trading. So I think it is very, very important as we have this discussion. मैंने एक दिन, you know, you said that I speak to a lot of people and I get to the point. A lot of people actually dislike me for that. You know what? I don't give a damn. Yeah, I don't give a hoot, right? If I'm, you know, if I've said that my job is to, I am not a politician. I do not want to be a politician. I do not want to be a civil servant. I've chosen to be a citizen who is an entrepreneur. And as a citizen who gets taxed and the politicians waste it. And you know what really absolutely gets me going is, and this is something post-COVID we've got to really, really actually focus on. You know, when footballers and entertainers are being paid millions and millions of pounds, right? And a researcher who's done a PhD, who's done 3 years of degree, 3 years, probably 4 years of PhD research, and the poor fella can't even, you know, find a job or get a mortgage. When a teacher can't get a mortgage, when a nurse, right, cannot get a job, then we, as a society, you know, have absolutely gone bonkers. There is something totally and utterly gone wrong with our society. देखिए मेरे भाई Almas, you know, you're a eloquent guy, you are well read. I don't know the young man. I'm sure he's the same. The problem is, you know, I remember, I'll give you an example of how my character was built. So when I was doing my A-levels, my father used to work somewhere and he got made redundant. And I said to him, Abu, you can actually go on the dole. You have entitled to go on the dole and claim benefits. You know, I remember to this day, he sat me down. He said, Amjad, as long as I've got my hands and I've got this, I will not go on the dole. Look at the difference, Almas Bhai, between the ethics and attitude of what we're doing in UK and here in Pakistan as well. This dependency culture is absolutely screwing our mind, right? And it's this vortex of dependency and actually blaming others. You know, America ne ye kiya, India ye kar raha hai hamare saath, you know, Saudi Arabia ye kar raha hai. You know, you talked about Japan, you know, after the atom bomb. You look at the Netherlands, they haven't even got any land. What they're doing is they're reclaiming the sea, building dikes. They dominate the world in frozen food, in horticulture, in flowers. Actually, it's nothing to do with your resources. It is the ethics, the attitude. And I think what we've got to do, you know, you wanted to give me to give you an answer in terms of where we go post COVID-19. And I would say to you, Almas Bhai, there are 3 types of people right now, you know, and the choice is yours where you sit in that spectrum. Number 1 is people who are thinking the lockdown is going to be over and we're going to go back to normal. Let me absolutely tell those people there is not going to be any more normal. Get it in your head, there is not going to be a normal. So if there is not going to be the normal of historical, what is the new normal? That is where your focus and attention needs to be. And who should be doing that, Almas Bhai? You know, that is the job of your academics and your researchers and your leaders. कौन से हमारे leader हैं जी जो हमारी देखें? I remember when we set up ATL in 1999, It became one of the largest business support organizations in the country. But right now, I simply want to ask this question. Who in UK is representing the interests of us? Where are the strategists? Where are the thought leaders? You know, I see, Almas Bhai, I see a lot of people, and you know, forgive me, you know, I'm not going to change. I'm now 61. I'm not going to change my style. I see a lot of people having a lot of dinners, Facebook events. There is absolutely nothing wrong in people coming together, having a chit chat, you know, but I think where we're getting to is what I called paralysis by analysis. By simply stating the problems, you're not going to sort it. What we really need to do now is we need predictive analysis. What does that mean? You see, the people who rule the world, and I let me tell you something. As a businessman and as a strategist, I do not believe in conspiracy theories. But what you've got to do is you've got to have scenarios. What is the best scenario? What is the least scenario? And what's the worst scenario? We do not, as a community, do scenario planning. जब हमारे सर पे आके कोई डंडा लगाता है ना, तो फिर हम भागना शुरू कर देते हैं. Council of Mosques will do this. Other committees will do this. There is no long-term consistent policy. We are very aptly, Almas Bhai, we always say that Jewish Board of Deputies is this doing, the Sikh Forum is doing this, the Hindu, what I say, good luck to them. If they understand their problems, they get the right people to do the strategy, they have the right strategic objectives, they put the right people in place to deliver those objectives and have accountability, right? Then, if we haven't imitated that in the last 50 years, since the Second World War, when immigration started into UK, then it serves us bloody right. So I think my message to a lot of people out there is get out of this depression or just sitting there and consuming rubbish about COVID-19. COVID-19 is here. What can you do for yourself first? Make sure that you take the advice from the professionals. Number one, look after yourself and look after your family. The second bit is you've got to make sure that financially you are secure. And let me tell you, there are going to be industries that are going to accelerate 10x. We all knew about online and stuff like that, and robotics and IoT and stuff like that. That is going to accelerate tenfold. There are other industries that are going to either slow down, grind, right? And there are other industries that are going to reverse. Look at price of oil at the moment.
Yeah.
देखिए, COVID-19 से पहले, Almas Bhai, the earth was crying out. हम लोगों ने oppression किया, हम लोगों ने exploitation of the earth की, or more importantly, there was so much cruelty, right, and injustice. We all knew it. We were all part of it. Allah has His ways of saying, enough is enough. But, like you said, there is a way out. And the way out is that we've got to start from the individual. What are the industries that are going to contract? What are the industries that are going to grow? And what do we need to do as individuals to reshape our skill sets and education? Education is going to be one of those industries that's going to be decimated because online, right, and life learning, right, the future wealth producers are not going to be factories, it's going to be the universities, because that's where the clusters are. So I think my introductory analysis is this. So if anybody has questions or you want to kind of drill down to something, I can give my opinion on that.
अमजद भाई बहुत अच्छी बातें आपने की. मैं आपको कुछ पास्ट की एग्जांपल्स लेके फिर आगे चलते हैं. एंड कल आई वाज रीडिंग समवेयर एंड इट सेड दैट वेयरएवर देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम देयर इज अपॉर्चुनिटी. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. एंड कल गौर भाई ने भी बड़ी बात की. एक अच्छी, हम फोन पे जब इस बारे में डिस्कशन कर रहे थे तो कहते हैं कि जब एक बड़ी मछली मरती है तो छोटी बहुत सारी मछलियों का रिस्क का बायस बनती है. सो टॉकिंग अबाउट टू द पॉइंट राइट नाउ, पहले हम कैटेगराइज कर लेते हैं. यूके की बात करते हैं. यहाँ पे जो स्मॉल ओनर्स हैं, अभी तक मैंने जो, क्योंकि आई ओन अ स्मॉल बिजनेस माय सेल्फ, अभी तक मैंने जितना लोगों का एक रुझान देखा है, जो उनका ट्रेंड देखा है, हाथ पे हाथ रख के बैठे हैं. गवर्नमेंट जो है वो फंड दे रही है, वेजेस दे रही है, सो इट्स ओके. व्हेन आफ्टर 3 months वी गो बैक, ओपन द ऑफिसेस, एवरीथिंग विल बी बैक टू नॉर्मल. Unfortunately, what we don't realize is it will not be back to normal. It'll have a big impact on the income, on the resources, on the way you work. People might not even have that much money. So fair enough, we are getting support and funding and the wages from the government, but how do we need to secure it, and what can we do in terms of improvement to make it better, ताकि जब हम वापस उस 3 महीने के बाद, या जब भी हम लॉकडाउन से, ऑब्वियसली फुली लॉकडाउन, तो मैं आपसे बिल्कुल फुली एग्री करता हूं कि ये लाइफ विल नेवर बी द सेम. जैसे अक्सर गौर भाई भी कहते हैं कि चीजें बहुत डिफरेंट होंगी. जैसे एक वो कहा जाता था कि बिफोर क्राइस्ट और आफ्टर क्राइस्ट, इसी तरह अब ये बिफोर जो है COVID-19 एंड आफ्टर COVID-19 थिंग्स विल बी कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. एंड मैं पर्सनली अपना ओपिनियन भी इसमें ऐड कर दूं कि लुक, इट्स अ वायरस. until and unless we certify 100% authentic vaccine and उसके बाद इसका एक मुकम्मल इलाज आ जाए और हर एक शख्स जो अभी तक इससे अफेक्ट हुआ है इनडायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली वो खत्म हो जाए, तब तक हम कंप्लीटली ओपन एनवायरनमेंट में जैसे पहले हम जाते थे उसमें नहीं जा सकते. अभी कल किसी ने मुझसे पूछा, मैंने एक रिपोर्ट की रमजान के ऊपर के रमजान जो है इस साल बड़ा मुख्तलिफ होने जा रहा है. वो तो किसी ने सवाल किया कि क्या आप समझते हैं कि ईद तक ये हो जाएगा या उससे अगली ईद तक ये हो जाएगा. मैंने कहा मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, बिकॉज जो हालात जा रहे हैं आई डोंट थिंक कि बड़ी जल्दी ये सारी चीजें नॉर्मल होने वाली हैं. तो आप, क्योंकि खुद आप देखें, आपने ग्राउंड वर्क से काम शुरू किया, एक ग्रोसरी शॉप से आपने स्टार्ट किया और अब माशाल्लाह आप कितने एक बड़े लेवल पे बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, इन सब चीजों को अच्छी तरह समझते हैं. और आप क्या मशवरा देना चाहेंगे कि बिजनेसेस को, इवन दो दे कांट प्रैक्टिकली वर्क राइट नाउ, व्हाट कैन दे डू टू मेक थिंग्स बेटर? वो इनोवेशन कैसे ला सकते हैं और फ्यूचर में इंप्रूवमेंट कैसे कर सकते हैं?
सलाम हसीब भाई की. मैं अमजद भाई, मैं हसीब भाई की बात को एको करते हुए साथ ये भी ऐड करूंगा. एक तो हमारे काफी सारे दोस्त मुझे नजर आ रहे हैं, वो रमजान मुबारक भी हमें कह रहे हैं, उनको भी थैंक यू, उनका शुक्रिया कि वो रमजान मुबारक कह रहे हैं. हसीब अरसलान साहब, अमजद भाई इज अ वेरी माशाल्लाह यंग, डेडिकेटेड और काफी जिसे कहते हैं कि मोटिवेटेड नौजवान है. और ये चाहते हैं कि बाज लोग होते हैं वो सिर्फ अपनी सेल्फ पब्लिसिटी के लिए बहुत कुछ करते हैं. इनकी बातों से और इनके साथ बात करके कई दफा मेरे छोटे भाई हैं ये पता चलता है, और इनके उस्ताद जो है अरशद रजाल साहब, इनके बाकी जो टीम है ये बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम है माशाल्लाह, अच्छी टीम है और मिल के काम करने के आदी हैं. तो ये जो है ना, ये चाहते हैं कि कम्युनिटी को हेल्प की जाए, उनको कोई अच्छे तरीके से कोई अच्छी बात बताई जाए जिसका कोई मसरफ भी हो, कोई यूज भी हो. तो ये जो पूछ रहे हैं वो यकीनन एजुकेशन के हवाले से आई विल टोटली एग्री विद यू कि मैं बताऊंगा नहीं कि किससे बात हो रही थी, लेकिन एक यूनिवर्सिटी के सेकंड वाइस चांसलर के दूसरे नंबर पे एक आदमी से मेरी बात हो रही थी, इतना सीनियर मोस्ट आदमी था, और वो इतना परेशान था. वो कह रहे थे कि हमने फीस ले ली है स्टूडेंट से, स्टूडेंट अब फीस वापस हमसे मांग रहे हैं क्योंकि उनका बड़ा इशू हो गया है. जो उनके हॉस्टल्स के जो उन्होंने फीस पे की हुई थी वो हमें रिफंड करनी पड़ रही है कि ऑब्वियसली दे आर नॉट स्टेइंग देयर, वी कैन चार्ज देम फॉर दैट. सो बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटी दे ऑपरेटिंग एज अ बिजनेस एज वेल, दे माइट एक्चुअली गो बैंकरप्ट एज वेल. सो आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं कि एजुकेशन पे इसका बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट होगा. तो हसीब भाई की बात को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं यही पूछूंगा कि जो बिजनेसेस हैं, जो छोटी बिजनेसेस हैं, हाउ कैन वी प्रिपेयर आवरसेल्फ फॉर पोस्ट कोविड वर्ल्ड. और दूसरी बात ये है कि इन द मीनवाइल हम किस तरीके से इस टाइम किस तरीके से यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं जो हमें टाइम ये मिल गया, चाहे वो 1 महीने या 3 महीने, to prepare ourselves for the future. Thank you, Amjad.
Okay. So both excellent questions, very pertinent of the day. But I think for me to answer that question, we need to go back and define what an entrepreneur is, because this word entrepreneur is being thrown about by a lot of people. For me, an entrepreneur is somebody who sees a problem in society and he or his team actually come up with creativity, innovation, and they use their skills, and the word finance comes last. The first bit is how they creatively and innovatively solve that problem so it gives society and the customer a better service or better product, right, to solve their problems. So keep that definition in your head. Magar, the problem is a lot of our businesses, whether they're small or medium or large, they get into this routine. They get stuck in a groove where enough income is coming, right, to pay their bills, their wages, to have a house, to have a good car, to have holidays, right? So they get into a comfort zone. But what they don't realize is that the society in which they live is evolving through technology, evolving through education, evolving through various other pest analysis, SWOT analysis, right? Society has to evolve. And if the businesses do not evolve with it, you talked about the government is giving this support, this, that, the other. I'm all for it because it's an economic shock. But at the beginning of this conversation, we talked about the culture of our first generation, how they were self-dependent. गैरत थी उनमें, उसमें उनके पास तालीम नहीं थी, मगर उनमें हुनर और गैरत थी. Self-reliance. Yeah, they had self-respect, yes. Right? And I think that ingenuity and those ethics, and more importantly, and I gave you an example, how they just didn't take care of themselves. They were collaborators. They helped others. This is the ethics of Islam. They were the living embodiment. So then compare ourselves to what we are doing today. And then, do I wonder why we are where we are? So I think what really needs to happen, every business, whether you're a startup, whether you're a corner shop, whether you're a large organization, you constantly need to update your skills and more importantly, what is happening in the market. And the biggest disruptor is going to be technology. People have said that, but you see, there are conspiracy theories about 5G and stuff like that, right? I do not believe in them, right? Because why? The very people that people say are generating, right, these conspiracy theories, they've got so whoever's invented 5G, their children, their grandmother, their mother is going to live in the same world, same street as me. So Definitely. It's going to impact them. As much as I am, so are they going to forsake money, right? So yes, by all means, we need to talk to experts, and then some of these people say these experts are bought by them. These are Luddites. I actually don't buy this, right? So let me tell you, the coronavirus was beaten in China. Yes, their regimentation and the spirit of nationhood, it was beaten by 5G technology. As simple as that. Track, trace, right? They did the test and they actually treated the people and the lockdowns worked. So coming back to what the businesses need to do, it starts with yourself. Your business is a reflection of you. If you think that you've done your O levels or A levels or you've done a degree and that's it, you're educated and you're going to run your business. I graduated in 1983, but I go on there's a website called Future Learn where there are hundreds of global universities that give you foundation degrees for free. I do probably 5 foundation degrees a month in subjects that I don't even know about. Yeah. Why? Because to stay relevant, you need to have the relevant skill sets. If you don't know how to use Google Analytics, how the hell are you going to find out which customers are coming to you? How? Because ultimately, it's about solving the customer's problem in a way better than others. If you think that the government is going to keep giving you more money to pay for your staff's wages, right? Look, the whole role of the entrepreneur is not to beg. It's the entrepreneurs who create the wealth and employment. It's the politicians who tax us and spend on the infrastructure, police, health, school. Yes, and most of it is wasted by them. And that's where the entrepreneurs come in. So if you see across the globe at the moment, what is happening, there is being now public and private partnerships, right? Good governments have realized that they can't do the big projects. So if you look at I've been on the NHS, I was the director on there for about 5 years. Look at the IT projects where we've, wasted billions of pounds. Look at defense where we've been wasting billions of pounds. So it's not just small to medium-sized businesses, right? It's the biggest companies as well. So what I would say, stop worrying about COVID. Stop taking in garbage in your head, right? Learn from the experts. Make yourself relevant. Make your business relevant. Ask yourself a simple question right now, because the only thing that you can control is today, the moment that like we are here. You can learn from the past, you can take action now, and this is what's called future scoping, right? And how do you future scope? You take predictive analysis. You read, go to Rockefeller Institute, go to Grant Thornton, right? Go to Deloitte's website, right? Read. The problem with our community is, right, we do not read. We do not read research. We get our basic facts from bloody WhatsApp groups. Pardon my French, right? And what's going on there, right? They just forward stuff like crazy. Where's the deep research and analytics? And this is why, we're probably one of the largest ethnic minorities. Why is it, Almas Bhai? We probably have some of the best representation in terms of numbers, in terms of politics. So why is it, as a community, right, we haven't got a hand on the power, because we're good at jalsa jalus, we're good at making Facebook things, right? But when it comes to strategy, we utterly fail in that.
Do you think? I would just like to add one point, and you've raised a very good point, that we have a very good representation. Some of the ethnic minorities, they don't even have no representation in the parliament, whereas we have. But don't you think our people, they start competing with each other instead of getting together and putting their problem forward in the parliament or anywhere where they are?
No. Hold on. We've just got to be.
Don't start him on that.
There's a politician. Almas Bhai is a politician, so we've got to be very careful. Right?
No,
okay. So
the program put the facts in front of people, true facts.
No. But absolutely. So let me. I think what we've got to do is look at why certain communities are successful. Right? So let's go back to the individual. Why is it, in a class of 30, everybody wants to be rich and millionaire? The probability is there'll be 1 or 2% from that class who will make it. What we've got to do is find out what were the characteristics, what was their life cycle, which enabled them to succeed from the 30. And in my life, I've been doing a lot of studies, a lot of research, because I'm a researcher, I'm a strategist, I'm a policymaker. By nature, I do that. And I think it starts fundamentally from having a vision. right? We don't vision. Our community don't vision. What is vision? Vision is where you are and where you want to go. So what is your point Z? That implies to your children, it applies to your self-actualization. Do you have a book of dreams? You know, how do you become the best father? How do you become the best husband? How, you know, do you want to travel the world? Do you want to wear the best food? So where is your book of dreams that gives you your vision? If you total that book of dreams for a year, that gives you numerically the amount of money that you need to make in order to realize your vision. So that gives you an analytical base of driving your ambitions. Once you have your ambition, then comes the bit about mission. How are you going to do that? You know, where are your EECs? What is an EECs? EECs stands for experience, knowledge and skills. अगर ये तीन चीजें आप जिंदगी में continuously नहीं अपनाएंगे, right, you'll be running a race, right? There'll be no finishing point. So remember what the EECs are, right? It's experience, yeah, knowledge and skill, right? So if you look at the educational attainment, I've been an educationalist for 25 years, right? So if you look at the attainment of our children, Almas Bhai, you're a politician, yeah? It is abysmal. It is abysmal. So the very EECs, which starts from, you know, your education system, agar aapke paas in the you know, post coronavirus, let me tell you something, digitization, right? And there is no you know, your friend who is worried about universities are going to be history. Yeah, everything is going to be done online. You will not be doing a 3-year degree. Everybody will be learning for life. Teachers are no longer the beholders of knowledge. They will have to become coaches, mentors over a period of time. So you'll start with somebody who's a new mentor at the primary level. You get to level 10, you need a different mentor. You will need mentors and coaches, right? This is, you know, I'm looking at some studies, right? In America, there's you guys might know Khan Academy, yeah? I mean, there are millions. It's a Pakistani guy who started this. There are millions of kids now on there who are not even going to school. So homeschooling is now becoming a massive industry, right? Because people, you know, for whatever reason, they're not thinking. So first is vision, then is mission. अच्छा, फिर ये है कि आपने अपने जो आपका विजन है ना, उसको टाइमलाइन देना है. You know, you can't have you play a game of football, there's a timeline. Yeah, there's a test match, there's a timeline. Yeah. So what you've got to do, you've got to set yourself, right? After you've done your vision and your mission, you've got to set yourself a timeline, right? कि इस टाइम में ये मेरे KPIs हैं कि, you know, things that I've got to deliver, right? And this is where we as a community absolutely fail, right? How am I gonna appraise myself and my team that we're hitting the targets? You know, again, Almas Bhai, you know, I'm not picking on the politicians, right? You know, जब election का time आता है ना, there is so much energy, dole, baje, you know, people with cars and megaphones, there's so much energy. What happens after the elections? Where is the process of accountability? Where is the vision? Where is the mission? Where are the strategic objectives? Who's going to deliver them? And if they don't, do we kick them out? So you've got to start applying these principles of visioning, setting self goals, having an appraisal, have mentors. Yeah, you know, when I started my business and it got to about 10 million turnover, and the problems that you have at a startup stage and when you get to that kind of turnover are completely different. We were in a realm that we'd never experienced. I had a mentor who was doing 500 million turnover. He was a Jewish a guy, a really good friend of the family. Uh, and I went down and sat with him, and he said, "Amjad, you look worried." I said, "I am." I said, I don't understand, HR. I don't understand logistics. I don't understand, global procurement." You know what he said to me? He says, "Get a CEO who's managed a company. You're at 10 million. Get a CEO who's managed a company 20 million." He says, "When you get to 20 million, sack him and get another CEO who's done a company, who's managed a company, who's done 50 million." And he said, "When you get to 50 million, sack him and get, we don't, hum shadi kar lete hain yaar." The problem with this, we think we are the best HR people, we're the best marketing people, and when we employ somebody, right, who's an expert, we keep fingering them. Oh, tenu ke pata hai, ke kar lage hain? Let me do it.
Yeah, he's
So
building
I
job.
think so I think there are some, because there is lack of education at the beginning, and then we don't have mentors, then we don't take these free courses, right? I mean, Bradford University, I've been with them, and Masbai as well. I mean, Irani Bhai, who's a professor, is a dean of the school, is a wonderful chap, right? He wants to go out the way to help the business community. They don't even attend the meetings. They don't want to pay. This is the problem. They don't want to pay for knowledge. They don't want to invest in them. They want everything for nothing. I know I'm generalizing, but Almasmai will tell you, right? So when you do not actually value investing in yourself, how are you going to invest in institutions where you actually have to invest? The rest of the community has think tanks, and their big businesses actually contribute millions of pounds towards strategy building. Those papers then go to the Home Office, they go to the Foreign Office, they go to the prison authorities, they go to all the various different. And what happens when the government makes a policy, those communities, although there are less in numbers, they do understand the process of influencing government policy. हम क्या करते हैं? We complain, यार ये नहीं हमें दे रहे, ये नहीं हमें दे रहे. Okay, and I think this point that I'm going to make, we really need to actually not shoot the messenger. Don't shoot me, because this is the reality. You know, there was an organization in the 70s called Asian Youth Movement. Masha Singh, God bless him, the MP who died, myself and a lot of other people, we set it up. It was a youth movement, and its motto was "Here to stay, here to fight." Right? We were against, National Front then, and racism and all that kind of stuff. 50 years later, so if you look at our leading politicians, they're still talking about inclusion. We don't talk about anything else apart from inclusion. Who's talking about economic policy? Who's talking about regenerating the entrepreneurial spirit in schools? Who's teaching entrepreneurialism in masajids? Nobody. Okay, the last bit before if you've other people have got questions. A society actually values you as inclusive when an individual or a community adds value to that community. You don't need to do a jalsa, you don't need to do a jalus, right? The moment, states have intelligence, yeah, intelligence apparatus. They know whether a particular individual or a community is adding value to the community. I ask both of you and the listeners, what value are we adding in general to this community? That is the big question. Yes, COVID-19 is important. Yes, making sure your businesses survive is important. Yes, it's important that we have a vision. But अगर हमने सिर्फ पैसा ही बनाना है, right? देखिए, Almas bhai, you talked about I'm doing a lot of work in Pakistan. Yeah. जिंदगी में आप एक पॉइंट पे पहुंचते हैं जिसे कहते हैं philosophers actually call it self-actualization. It doesn't matter how many grades you've got, gongs you've got, titles you've got, the amount of money you've got. Amjad Parvez will be asked the question, where do you come from? His grandkids will be asked the question, and you know what they will have to say? We are Pakistani origin, British, Pakistani origin. So then it is incumbent on us. Elmas Bhai started talking about history. Whatever happens in Pakistan, we and our identity will be defined by Pakistan. So if Pakistan is defined as a corrupt country, it doesn't matter what I do, right? आपको पता है कि दुनिया में पाकिस्तान का कितना इमेज है और उसकी रेपुटेशन क्या है. We as overseas Pakistanis are sending $20 billion every year, whereas Saudi Arabia से 2 billion वो मांग रहे हैं, तो 20 billion उन्होंने terms and conditions sign करवाए हैं, right? We are giving that free of charge, yet we are not stakeholders, right? So you know what? So a group of us from 30 countries 4 years ago decided, right, that we're not going to call our fellow Pakistanis stupid or idiots. What we want is a stakeholder in this country, because our very gharat and dignity, the discussion that we started from, our very dignity and gharat and our identity is defined by what happens in Pakistan. And if we're sending 20 billion plus to it, we have every right to define its policies and its institutions and hold its leaders to account. And that is why Jumpstart Pakistan and Lift Pakistan, Alhamdulillah, let me tell you something. Yeah, this government, and I'm not saying it because I've been associated with Imran, for 15, 20 years, right? Like Ilmas Bhai said, I will say what needs to be said, right? And they will say to me what needs. I'm not perfect. I'm not, I haven't got the answer to everything. So we need to work together.
Definitely.
But we need to get the terms right. The terms is, if Amjad says he's going to do something, somebody is going to hold him to account. Why haven't you done it? If he gets it wrong second time, we retrain him. We maybe modify his KPIs. But if second time or third time Amjad nahi kar raha, kick him out. I think this accountability, personal accountability, family accountability, community accountability, and leadership accountability, when that comes, my friend, let me tell you something. We are, as a people, some of the most hardworking, most friendly, right, people, most giving people on planet Earth, right? But we've got to start from the basics. And this COVID-19 gives us a unique opportunity. जैसे वो कहते हैं ना रमजान शरीफ के बाद, you are like a newborn baby. This COVID-19, अल्लाह ने हमें टाइम दिया है, घर पे आप बैठे हैं, learn new skills, collaborate. Look, I'm sat in Pakistan, you guys are in UK, yet we are able to communicate, right? There are people, there are national, not everybody is our enemy. Actually, अगर आप दिल से बात करेंगे ना किसी से, वो इकबाल का शेर, दिल से जो बात निकलती है असर रखती है, right? आप दिल से बात करेंगे, सच्चाई से बात करेंगे, गैरत से बात करेंगे, right? अपना फायदा ढूंढेंगे और दूसरे का भी फायदा ढूंढेंगे ना. Let me tell you, see, I've been a global logistics director for my company for 30 years. I've traveled the world. अगर आप इज्जत से किसी के साथ बात करेंगे ना, इज्जत से बात करेंगे, don't be arrogant. अगर चाइनीज डिफरेंट है तो रिस्पेक्ट देयर डिफरेंस. अगर आप तुर्की में जाते हैं, उनके डिफरेंसेस हैं, तो रिस्पेक्ट देयर डिफरेंसेस. आपने ये देखना है कि आपका विजन क्या, आप चाहते क्या है इस इंटरेक्शन में, right? You need to know what your KPIs are. Nobody's going to give you anything on a plate, especially past COVID-19. And the last thing I will say to you, young man, right? You talked about SMEs, right? And the big fish dying. The big fish will not die. This whole scenario, what is going to happen, unfortunately, in the going back to history, in the last depression, I'm not talking about 2008, in the last depression in the 30s, right? UK's GDP fell by 8%. If you now look at the researchers like Grant Thornton, Deloitte, all these people who control policy making, they're talking about 25 to 40% reduction in UK's GDP. That is going to decimate people's lives. Everybody's talking about after 2008, the cuts that we had, right? And there were no wages. All this stuff that people are getting aid from the government. Now they're paying their wages. Let me tell you, the government does not produce any wealth. This is coming from future taxation.
Yes, definitely.
We are going to have to pay for it. So the more you download and put it into your business, believe me, sir, right? There's going to be a payback time.
Yeah.
Right? A big time. So, be careful. Yeah.
جی امجد بھائی، میں اس کو تھوڑا سا مطلب آپ نے بہت اچھے طریقے سے سمجھایا. ہمارے بڑے اچھے پیارے دوست عابد صدیق اور دیگر دوست بھی آپ کو اپریشیٹ بھی کر رہے ہیں، سلام بھی دے رہے ہیں حسیب بھائی کی.
وعلیکم السلام.
یہ سارا کچھ یہ سیٹ کرنے کا اور اس طریقے سے لوگوں کو انفارم کرنے کا، یہ بہت مطلب بڑی بات ہے اور اچھی بات ہے. میں اس کو تھوڑا سا پرسپیکٹو میں یہ لے کے آؤں گا امجد بھائی کہ آپ نے ایجوکیشن، نالج اور اسکل سیٹس کی بات کی، اور یہ تین چیزیں کس طریقے سے آپ نے یوز کرنی ہے. آپ کے پاس ایک ایڈیشنل چیز ہے جو ان تینوں چیزوں پہ بھاری ہے، اور وہ ہے ایکسپیرینس. So you've got education, knowledge, skill and experience as well. Now considering all the wealth that you've got, simplistically آپ ہمیں کیا بتائیں گے؟ آپ دیکھیں کہ دنیا کی اس وقت جو اکانومی ہے، it's about 91 trillion all together. GDP جو دنیا کا ہے، right? جو ہماری borrowings ہے، ہماری borrowings are more than 192 trillion, right? پوری دنیا میں. So جتنی دنیا کی ورتھ ہے GDP ہے، اس سے ڈبل سے بھی زیادہ borrowings ہے. اس COVID-19 کے بعد یہ کہا جا رہا ہے کہ ہماری borrowings 230 trillion تک چلی جائیں گی اگر یہ سپٹمبر تک چلا گیا. سو بہت ساری کنٹریز، بزنسز، اور وہ تو چھوٹی بات ہے، ایون کنٹریز لائک گریس اینڈ ادر کنٹریز، ایسی کنٹریز ہیں جن کا فیوچر بڑا بلیک نظر آ رہا ہے. اس کے بعد اللہ کی طرف سے خیر ہو، اور بڑے بڑے پلیئر چلے جائیں گے. آپ ہمیں یہ بتائیے سمپلسٹکلی، سادہ الفاظ میں ایک سادہ آدمی ہوں، کہ میں ایک پاکستانی فار ایگزامپل، یا ایشین، یا اور جو لوگ بھی ہمیں سن رہے ہیں، ہم کہاں فار ایگزامپل ہمارا پاکستان میں انویسٹمنٹ کیا آپ نے جو وہ شروع کیا ہے، وہاں کیا اپرچونیٹیز ہیں، اور پلس ہم کیا کیا کر سکتے ہیں جہاں لیڈز، بریڈفورڈ، یارکشائر میں، برطانیہ میں رہتے ہوئے، اور پلس امریکہ میں جہاں جہاں لوگ ہم سن رہے ہیں، ہماری یوتھ یا ہمارے جو انٹرپرینورز ہیں کیا کر سکتے ہیں؟ کون سی ایسی چیزیں ہیں جس میں وہ حصہ لیں اور اس کو مطلب اچھے طریقے سے وہ کر سکتے ہیں؟ کیونکہ آپ دیکھیں نا، ہیلتھ انڈسٹری ہو گئی، ہاسپٹیلٹی انڈسٹری ہو گئی، ٹوریزم وغیرہ، یہ ساری ایئر لائنز ان کا فیوچر، ایجوکیشن آپ نے بتا دیا یونیورسٹیز کے حوالے سے. سو کون سی ایسی انڈسٹریز ہیں آئی ٹی کے علاوہ یا آن لائن سروسز کے علاوہ جس میں ہمارے بچے، ہماری یوتھ ایکسیل کر سکتی ہے، اور اس میں آپ کیا مدد دے سکتے ہیں؟ اس میں فار ایگزامپل انویسٹمنٹ کے حوالے سے بھی پاکستان میں کیا اویلیبل ہے، سازگار کیا ہے، مطلب جو فضا ہے وہ سازگار ہے یا نہیں ہے؟ آپ تو بہت قریب بھی ہیں اس وقت جو ڈیسیجن میکرز ہیں ان کے، اور آپ نے بڑی بڑی ورک شاپس بھی کی ہیں، کانفرنسز بھی کی ہیں، افیئرز بھی کی ہیں. تو آپ نے کیا گیدر کیا اس سب سے کہ کیا دیکھ رہے ہیں آپ نے؟ دنیا کے دونوں سائڈ دیکھ لی، آپ کو کیا نظر آ رہا ہے؟
Okay, that is an excellent question. دیکھیں، any businessman, we've discussed this previously, in order to survive, they need to know the pulse of the economy and the desires of their customers. Forget COVID or stuff like that. Ultimately, you will generate the income from your customer segmentation. So Seafresh gets its customers from the independent catering market, right? Or the institutional caterers. What we as a company have got to do post COVID-19, what are going to be the buying habits of the customers of our customers? because ultimately the real income is not coming from the takeaways. You see, what people do, they don't actually get to the root of the problem. So what we've got to do is we've got to actually read, right, deep research, which is currently being done by big institutions who specialize in that. We are paying thousands and thousands of pounds as a company, right, to look at market intelligence reports. This is another problem. You know, people want everything free. You know, information is now worth more than gold, right? Real information is worth even more. So you're going to have to, if you're a business person, right, you're going to have to invest in market intelligence reports. And I'll give you briefly what, you know, my analysis is sat in Pakistan and looking at globally what's going to be happen. There are three scenarios. There are some businesses who are going to excel, right, 10 times, maybe, you know, 100 times. And I'll come on to those which those are. There are those businesses who are going to come to a grinding halt. And there are those businesses that are going to reverse or completely be blown out of the water, right? You talked about, you know, apart from technology, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, right? What has happened during COVID is everybody has brought forward their plans of working from home, robotics, IoT, 5G, right? You know, the businesses, the business people, the entrepreneurs want to reduce cost. Yeah. So now they've experimented, they've been forced to experiment what they were planning to do in the next 3 to 4, 5, 10 years, right? So 5G, Internet of Things, robotics, machine learning, right, and artificial intelligence. Everybody talks about it. That is going to be the biggest changer. So I would advise youngsters who are now 10, 11, 12, 13, right, to take mathematics, to take computer sciences, but more importantly, learn programming, for God's sake. Programmers are already a rare commodity, right? But good programmers are going to be earning hundreds of millions of pounds, particularly when the 5G era and robotics comes in. So that's number one. Number two, most of these diseases, right? And as somebody who's been involved in food business for nearly 30 years, right? Intensive farming, particularly livestock farming. So if you look at the swine flu, if you look at the mad cow disease, if you look at Ebola, all these, and even look at COVID-19, it's from animals to humans. Yeah. Right. So I'll tell you what's going to come, and what I'm personally investing in Pakistan is agriculture, aquaculture, horticulture, and agri-tech. People are now going to turn away from fast food because look at the people who are dying. Those who've got underlying problems, obesity, people who've got problems with diabetes. Diabetes is a lifestyle problem. Yeah, I'm not blaming people. They can, in a free society, they can do what they want, but then they better live with the consequences. So I think what will happen, people will turn back to wholesome food, right? Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Pakistan, right? Instead of paying footballers millions and millions of pounds, we're going to have to reprioritize who the key workers are and who the key industries. So food security is going to come huge. We've talked about education. So if there are people now who think that their business sector is going to go under, right, then start pivoting, start learning, right? You will get the experience through trial and error. You know, in business, they say you're allowed to make mistakes, but for God's sake, learn from the mistakes. I can't teach you everything. Your mentors can't teach you everything. Sometimes you just got to fall flat on your nose, bleed a bit, and learn from it that you're not going to. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about, right? Education is going to be the next, right? Education is going to be revolutionized, right? Mass education through 5G and coaching is going to be a massive phenomenon. मैं आपको एक figure देने लगा हूँ इल्मास भाई, and you'll be shocked by it. Most developed countries, 50 to 60% of their youth go to universities. Do you know what the figure is in Pakistan?
Probably.
Have a guess.
Please enlighten us.
20.
Right, it's 4%.
Whoa! I was hoping it to be about 20-25%.
Right, it's 4%.
Wow.
And 60% of the population is classified as youth. And the World Health Organization, right, is saying that by 2050, the population of Pakistan is going to double. So this there's going to be a revolution in mass education in Pakistan, right? I'm not saying that because I'm a Pakistani. I am a real hard-nosed business person. I've got investments across the globe. But let me tell you something, right? The ease of doing business in Pakistan is improving. The army and the armed forces have realized they've got to open up the society, right? It is for their own survival that they're doing that. They're not doing it for my benefit, but they're doing it but as a consequence, right? Ease of doing business in Pakistan is phenomenally better, right? The input costs are beautiful, and you know what? There are 10 million overseas Pakistanis across 30 of the most developed nations. Those are our bridges of export from Pakistan. And you know, we at Jumpstart Pakistan have got a very audacious ambition, more than government. We reckon we can add 100 billion, not million, 100 billion in the next 10 years through pushing 10 sectors. And we can do another live session on what those 10 sectors are and where people can. Not only will it help Pakistan, but you know, the businesses in UK, in America, in Middle East, Pakistanis who are running them, because their purchasing is going to be competitive, those companies are going to become competitive in Bradford, in Birmingham, in Leicester, you know, in Riyadh, right? Therefore, we will have a global boost in economy because Pakistan has the natural resources. Geopolitically and geographically, it's been, you know, every report that you've read, right, has said that we are best placed. But you know, we as overseas Pakistani have now got to play an active role. And alhamdulillah, we've been putting the bedrock for the last 4 years. And the government here, alhamdulillah, is listening and is working hand to hand with us. So, you know, ample opportunity.
Simplify. I'm just trying to simplify things. Obviously, Asif bhai has a few questions as well before we go, because we've crossed the hour anyway into the program. There's a young chap called Abid Siddiq, हमारा दोस्त है. उन्होंने भी ये क्वेश्चन किया है कि जब आप ब्रेडफोर्ड में आएंगे तो वो कोई अगर इवेंट करना चाहें एसएमईज के हवाले से तो हमें दावत दे रहे हैं कि आप आएंगे. तो मेरी तरफ से तो बिल्कुल हाँ है, इंशाल्लाह अगर वो ऐसा इवेंट करेंगे तो आई एम श्योर. रमेश भाई
he's a businessman himself and कह रहे हैं कि अगर मैं सिर्फ to motivate small businesses and medium sized businesses, so as a guest would you be okay to come, obviously after the coronavirus is over?
Listen, Almas bhai will tell you, I've been doing that all my life. I see it as my duty, as my honor. I'll be in actually UK tomorrow, inshallah, at 7:30. I'm taking a flight. वो जो repatriation flights कर रही है ना British government, they're telling everybody to leave. So I'm coming back, right? So listen, it is my duty. You know, there's no point me talking to you and the audience for an hour, and then when you say, can you come and do this, and say, oh, I'm busy. I will do whatever is in my field. I haven't got answers to everything, like I said. I'm not a perfect man. But you know, we at Jumpstart Pakistan have a simple motto. And I think all of us need to adopt this. Stronger together, creating a great nation.
Indeed.
And that doesn't need, and that stronger nation starts with creating a stronger individual and stronger communities and stronger leadership and holding them to account. We need to learn to hold people to account and ourselves. So if I'm going to hold somebody else to account, I am more than welcome to stand on a stage, right, and you know, help people, but also be held to account.
अमजद भाई आपने बड़ी अच्छी बातें की। एक क्विक मैं बात ये ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि obviously sometimes it's not all about working hard. I mean, in future we'll have to work really smart as well as hard, working hard. So आप हमें 3 चीजें ऐसी बताएं, 3 ऐसे सेक्टर्स बताएं जिसमें आपको स्कोप नजर आ रहा है, जिसमें हमारे यूथ जो है या जो हमारे यंग बडिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, जिसमें अगर वो इन्वेस्ट करें, जिसमें अपना टाइम इन्वेस्ट करें, जिसमें वो ज्यादा फायदा हासिल कर सकते हैं। मुझे याद है आज से 10-15 साल पहले आप एक गवर्नर साहब आए थे, उनको आपने बड़ा लताड़ा था मेरे सामने। आपने उनको उस वक्त कहा था कि यार आपको होश के नाखून लेने चाहिए, ये मैंने आपको बोला भी था कि भैंस का दूध दुनिया में कितना महंगा है। आपने उसको, अब अगर उस वक्त पता नहीं वो कर लेते तो पता नहीं उसके क्या भी मतलब इम्पैक्ट होता। तो मैं बड़ा मुतासर हुआ था कि जिस तरीके से वो गवर्नर साहब आगे से कह रहे थे कि जी ये मैं भी नया आया हूँ। तो मुझे याद है मैंने बीच में उनको कहा था, मैंने कहा गवर्नर साहब आप सबसे लॉन्गिंग सर्विंग गवर्नर है हिस्ट्री में, और आप कह रहे हैं कि मैं नया आया हूँ, तो आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए। सो आपको, मुझे याद है आप उस वक्त उसको बता रहे थे कि यार खुदा का खौफ करो, ये चीजें जो है कुछ बंदे के बच्चे बताओ। सलान भाई भी कुछ कहेंगे, लेकिन ये है कि वर्किंग स्मार्ट इज द की एज वेल, नॉट जस्ट वर्किंग हार्ड। जी सलान भाई प्लीज।
मैं इसी में एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऐड कर दूं, आप जब इन सारों को आंसर करेंगे तो साथ इसको, आई जस्ट वांटेड योर ओपिनियन ऑन what's the future of media, not social media, the actual media, so the TV channels across the world, not just Pakistani or British, across the world, and what impact all this scenario is going to have on the property side of things. Are we going to have another recession like we had after 2008, the prices dropped, or based on your
So let me give you my few tips, and if you invest in it, don't come back to me. Investment is always risky. Yeah, so don't be coming back to me. Yeah, it's what the choice is. The choices that I'm going to make. I'm not advising anybody. Let's put that caveat. I've already invested in agriculture, livestock, and aquaculture. That's going to be massive, but it's got to be wholesome rather than intensive and that kind of stuff. This bit was already on the horizon. So my battery is going to run out. I've on 9%, so I better be quick.
We'll have to conclude in the next couple of minutes anyway.
Right. So the next bit is personal care, right, and food as a medicine. That is going to be huge. So all these synthetic foods and processed foods, so value added. So first we're talking about farming. Now we're talking about value added food, wholesome food, rather than the rubbish, most of it that we get, which is no good for you. Right. The other bit that's going to absolutely fly, right, is healthcare. Personal coaches, people, right from primary school. So it's lifestyle coaching, right? So nutritionists. So it's not being a doctor, but other related fields that that's going to be a massive growth in those fields. In terms of property, we're going to see a depression in the next 10 years. So if you're in the property, I'm bailing out. Forget fossil fuels; they're going to be the history. Already, have you seen the price of oil is? But it's going to take 10 years. Aviation, we're going to move away from that. It's going to be electric and solar. So solar is going to be massive. Wind, solar, and the one thing that you've got in countries like Pakistan, where we've got a lot of what I called green stuff, agricultural stuff, anaerobic digestion, gobar gas, जो हमारे मुगलिया खानदानों ने तैयार किया था, right? Now that technology, that technology can actually give you organic fertilizer. So you get energy, but plus the byproduct is organic fertilizer. So I'm actually researching heavily, talking to a couple of Chinese companies to come into Pakistan and a couple of other countries. So I think these topics we can talk about future when I come to UK. But don't be. My final message is that media. There is a huge gap in the market for honest, reliable, data-driven media, rather than people chasing numbers. right, an audience, right? What people have got to do, those who are in the media, if they now start giving, because fake news people are fed up of. So where's the alternative? You can talk about fake news, but you've got an entrepreneur solves the problem by giving a solution, not just talking about it. So anybody who comes up with well-researched programs which are fact-based, right? In the next, 3 to 5, people are fed up of, these conspiracy theories and fake news and all this bull that we see on our screens. So media has a huge potential, right? But the next Facebook is going to be based on fact checking before they allow it to post it. Right,
Yeah.
so there's a huge potential. So get in there, guys. There's a lot of opportunities. Don't be pessimistic, right? We have probably in Bradford one of the youngest population in Europe. I believe most youth are good. We just need to have good mentors and good leadership, right, to guide them and mentor them. So I'm very optimistic of the future, despite the challenges that we have. But you know what? A true sign of a leader that they walk the walk through the challenging times.
बहुत शुक्रिया अमजद साहब, आपने अपना इतना कीमती वक्त, और आप कल वापस भी आ रहे हैं, so we'd like to say from this platform have a safe journey and we'll love to see you here. सबको रमज़ान मुबारक हमारी तरफ से। कुछ दोस्त जो हैं आज बरतानिया में आज रोज़े का आगाज़ किया, लेकिन मेजॉरिटी जो है वो कल पाकिस्तान के साथ आगाज़ करने जा रही है। तो हमारे सारे सुनने वालों को और देखने वालों को हम सब की तरफ से रमज़ान मुबारक, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो प्रोग्राम आज हमने किया ये किसी न किसी फॉर्म में किसी न किसी शख्स के लिए जो है फ़ायदेमंद साबित होगा। गौर भाई, अगर आप कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स देना चाहें और उसके बाद विल से गुड बाय।
जी वसीम भाई, बहुत शुक्रिया। मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है कि आप अपना कीमती वक्त निकाल कर इस तरह के प्रोग्राम करते हैं, और सबसे ज्यादा कीमती वक्त तो हमारे गेस्ट का था, अमजद परवेज साहब, जिन्होंने अपना टाइम निकाला, अपनी शेयर की, अपनी एक्सपर्टीज, अपनी एक्सपीरियंस, नॉलेज एंड स्किल्स सबके साथ शेयर किया। इंशाल्लाह ये रिवायत हमें कायम रखनी है, इसको आगे लेके जाना है। वही बात, नॉट जस्ट टॉक इन द टॉक बट वॉक इन द वॉक एज वेल। हम इंशाल्लाह इस कन्वर्सेशन को जारी रखेंगे। हमने लीगल एस्पेक्ट को भी हसीब भाई कवर किया पिछले दिनों, विल राइटिंग के हवाले से। आज हमने बात की कि किस तरीके से हमारी यूथ को पॉजिटिव एंगेज कर सकते हैं, और क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं हमारे पास आने वाले दिनों में। और इंशाअल्लाह नेक्स्ट हमारी ये कोशिश होगी कि एक ऐसा टॉपिक लेके आए, एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट लेके आए रमजान में खास तौर पे, जो अगेन फ्रूटफुल और मीनिंगफुल जिसकी डिस्कशन हो। तो आपके सब सुनने वालों को बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, और अमजद परवेज साहब दिल की अल्लाह गहराइयों से मैं मशकूर हूँ। इंशाल्लाह आप आइएगा, हम आपको इनवाइट करेंगे। अल्लाह करिए कोविड के बाद सब कुछ खुल जाए तो अच्छे तरीके से जितने भी हमारी यूथ है उनके साथ एक वर्कशॉप डेफिनेटली करेंगे, बिकॉज यू आर एन इंस्टीट्यूशन विद इन योरसेल्फ।
गुड बाय।
ओके जी, अल्लाह हाफिज, अल्लाह हाफिज, अल्लाह हाफिज।
रमजान